Your eyes do not deceive you. It is the two man, the fabulous Freebirds of the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. It is I and Antonio Coleman. We're going to take on all comers tonight. We're putting the tag team titles on the line. That is until everybody else joins us tonight.
The run-ins.
The run is, yeah, we are back in business. And ironically enough, it is Antonio and I who both went and saw Infinity War together last week. But before we get into that, Antonio, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be back.
Oh, I see what you got on. I see what you're wearing, man. I just not to wear Marvel anything tonight. I said I'm gonna go a little throwback for all anybody who watched this show that's over 30 knows exactly who that is. So I don't even have to tell you. So Antonio, we talked about it, man. Afterwards, we did not upload a video after the showing of Infinity War. We said we're not gonna say anything. We'll just save it all. We talked about maybe 15-10 minutes after the movie out in the parking lot. We discussed different theories, but having had a complete week to digest the movie, what is your thoughts on Infinity War?
I was really impressed. I mean, it's a movie. It's one of those movies, man. That I mean, like they've been promoting. It's 10 years in the making, and it didn't fail at all to live up to the hype that was built up behind it. I mean, to 10 years, this movie is just an epic level of characters, story wise, and basically you got everything you wanted out of it, and then some. I mean, it's a lot of the characters, the stuff you found out about you didn't know about, and even characters that you didn't really know anything about that you actually started caring for throughout the movie on there for. So I mean, overall, really kudos to Marvel for what they did and what they showed on there for it. I mean, the movie is just on another level. It really was.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I wrestle with this, man, and and it's not a slight at the movie at all. Me personally, my favorite Marvel movie is probably gonna always be Winter Soldier. Um, I have an attachment to that movie. There's nothing wrong with Infinity War. Let me go ahead and put that out there for everybody. There's nothing wrong with the movie. It's a great movie. I just prefer Winter Soldier better. I think because one, Bucky is just a kick-ass character, and it was just it basically kind of almost primed everything for what you got and leading up to Infinity War. The thing I took coming from the movie was that, uh, and like I said, if you're watching this, clearly you saw we're talking spoilers tonight. If you don't want to watch spoilers tonight, then I suggest you go cut on God of War or something. We're gonna be talking about this movie in depth. Um, I walked away from the movie, man, and it's funny how many people I've talked to that are depressed. You got a lot of
Yeah.
people who are absolutely depressed at how that movie ended. I talked to a guy today at the comic store. Me and Will was talking to this guy, and this guy looked at us. He said, "Man, I wasn't expecting it to end like that." And I said, "Bro, if you read Infinity War, especially if you're an ardent fan of that, we know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You know that." And like I told you all, I had already talked to somebody who had already gave me the inside scoop on what was going to happen in the movie anyway. I just, sworn to secrecy, but I wasn't surprised anyway because I know how it plays out in the book. Now, the interesting thing that I took away from it was there are a lot of holes there. And when I say there's a lot of holes, I'm not saying that there were things that was, that plot wise was wrong or anything. I'm just saying that I think Marvel's up to playing. I think Marvel's going to pull an okie doke here. And when I say okie doke, this Disney deal has to go through at some point. Okay. And I think that there are enough holes that are in this movie that can be filled by potential new characters in the next Infinity War movie. Uh, I just I've got this feeling that they're gonna pull an NWO type coup, and we're gonna get something that, you know, because they've already said, as you stated this to us off air, is that they're not gonna release anything. They're not gonna say anything like they did with this one. It's gonna be
No.
pretty much a surprise. So
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee we're going to get somebody new, completely new, out of the best. Longest, and I hope nobody blows it. You know how executives can't keep their mouth shut. So I hope, nobody blows it, or there's some type of shit. I worked in, part of my French. I worked in the media, and I can't even think of a blackout.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, that there's a media blackout on it, so nobody can say anything. Um, but I tell you, man, Thanos was so sympathetic in that movie, man. That was a depressing man. I mean, it was so sad to watch him tear through people like that. And when he tore through it, he absolutely looked pitiful. I mean, at the end of that movie, he looked like the mad cat. He looked absolutely dejected. Even the Infinity Gauntlet looked used up. I mean, this dude, because I was sitting there looking at it, and I said, "Sweet Jesus, man, this dude is in bad shape."
Yeah.
He went through all of this, and even the scene with Gamora. Now that was pitiful. That was a pitiful scene. When I say pitiful, I was just sad. That's flat out sad to watch her have to go out like that. It was absolutely crazy. But I never forget the look on your face when Red Skull popped onto the screen. The look on your face, you like a child opening a Christmas present.
Yeah. I mean, that dude was. I mean, honestly, I never thought we'd ever see him again, except for like maybe, some reference to him in the future or something like that. But I never thought we'd see him on screen again, not anytime soon. And that really threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that at all, to see him doing it. But I mean, that was a pleasant surprise just to see him on there and to see the role that he was playing in that.
We got the Infinity. We got the excuse me, the Iron Spider, which was true to form. I mean, they really did a great job
Yeah.
um, with just the entire design of that suit, and it was not out of place. You know how sometimes the people they introduce certain stuff and it's out of place. Well, there you had something that was that just blended in seamlessly, and Spider-Man once again. I mean, he nailed it again. I mean, this guy here, Tom Holland, has Spider-Man down to a T,
Yeah.
and I'm finding more and more him and Iron Man complement each other really good on the big screen. They complement each other really well. Uh, and we go to Iron Man, who his suit was we got a look at a new suit from Iron Man, uh, which ended up getting jacked up at the end. But um, I mean, everybody, the amazing thing when we sit here and we look at Infinity War, the amazing thing to me was the fact that Infinity War had all of these characters. They had all of these characters, and they were able to satisfy each and every one. Everybody got their fair share of time. Everybody got their jokes in. Everybody got, whatever they needed to get and that was and that was just I was wondering how are they gonna fit that many superheroes and villains, excuse me, into the movie without leaving shortchanging some people, and
Yeah.
I found it to be very cool.
I mean, they did a really good job. I mean, they did leak ahead of time saying who was going to get like the most air screen time, and they said it was basically it was almost a tie between Thor and Thanos as far as screen time characters. Which I was kind of surprised at that with Thanos, because usually when you introducing a villain, like a full on villain, and showing him what he can do, a lot of times they'll kind of hold back and not show you too much of him and stuff like that. But uh, But Disney, when they did this with this character, they put him all the way out there and put him front and center for everybody to see. I mean, you had like the deep conversations with him and Gamora, with them just sitting around talking. You had him talking to on the fight on Titan. You had him talking to him and explaining why he's doing what he's doing. I mean, he even gave you a little bit of his past on there for it when he had the Reality Stone. He even showed that when he was talking to Doctor Strange on there for it, when they had that conversation. So, like you said, they gave everybody their moment to shine. And I mean, really, everybody else you'd already been introduced to. So you already knew about the Guardians, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Strange, everything else like that. But the character we didn't know a lot about, we actually found out a lot about in this movie, which was Thanos on there for it. The Black Order, I really liked the way they introduced them as far as like not just throwing them all into one big group. They actually split them off and had them going up against different heroes at different times and stuff like that. I hate that they actually killed some of them off in there for it. I mean, I would have liked to have seen them return at some point, but you know,
who knows?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it could be something where they come back, but there's a couple of them that no, I don't see them coming back after what happened to them in the movie. So
yeah, I mean, you had that, and then we also had the, you know, there was a few things there that I know ticked off a couple of folks, namely Al, who is not going to be on tonight. At least I don't think he's going to be on tonight. Was the fact that how the Incredible Hulk was pretty much muted from the first scene on. He was pretty much not the typical Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think Marvel's reasoning behind that was? I think they're gonna give him a grandstand show on the next one.
Personally. I mean, I think they will do that, but I think they're and we talked about this after the movie, is that I know their plans are to bring in new characters, and they actually plan on bringing in. I mean, they already plan on bringing in Miss Marvel. If anybody stayed on the after credits and saw, they did the hint towards Miss Marvel coming in there. So I think with her coming in, they've went ahead and said and established that she is going to be the most powerful character in the Marvel universe as far as heroes wise that we know of when she shows up. So with all this time, all the way through all the other movies, the most powerful character hero wise has always been known as the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that's just been it. It's been Hulk and then everybody else after that, maybe Thor after that. So I think with this, with them kind of making Hulk take a kind of a back seat to the whole situation, I think they're going to introduce. I mean, you got Miss Marvel coming out next year. They're going to show her. They're going to show her power, and I do think he's going to have his time to shine. I think it's going to be one of those things where he's going to come through in the clutch in the next movie, and have his breakout moment and help everybody out in that situation. But I mean, as far as for the reasoning behind it, I'm really not sure, because I mean, all the promos and everything we saw, you saw Hulk running and fighting in Wakanda. So it's like, well, where is he at? And then they even put out that pop figure with him busting out of the Hulkbuster suit. And it's like, you know, where's that at? I was waiting for that whole scene the entire movie. I was like, all right, this is the moment. And it just never did come.
You know what? To be honest with you, man, with the way Thanos was taking him out, I'm actually glad he didn't show up. it was a couple of characters there, man, that I was like, I'm glad they didn't show up, because that they showing up, he would have done away with him, man. Because I was like, man, just please spare some folks. And it was funny because they took a couple of characters that I didn't expect them to take, like, you know, like Bucky. I was kind of surprised. I really in my head had it that Cap was gonna go and Bucky was gonna stay and lead the Avengers. That's what I was, you know, speculating to myself. So when he got evaporated, I was like, well, damn, you know.
Yeah.
You know, especially with all the talk of what's his name not wanting to be, you know, not wanting to do the movie.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans not, you know, not want to do it. So I mean, something happen. Maybe they got him for another movie or two or whatever. But I was just kind of shocked by that. Um, we've also got for those who are, once again, this is the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion, so we do have speculation on this show. And for those who are looking to possibly get a book, one could pick up is You'll See It in My Hall tonight. I will reach back there and get it, but I gotta go off camera, so I'm not gonna do that right now. But I've got one that I believe I've already got, but I bought it again today for the price. I was like, I gotta buy it again. But the Claws of the Panther, Shuri takes over the mantle as the Black Panther. You definitely want to try to get those books. There's a variant that's out there. I think me and you actually got it, TC. The what's that? What's that?
The Dark Reign.
Yeah, the Dark Reign variant with Sherry on it. I'm not sure if it's easy to find anymore. I know we got it way before all of this hype actually started happening. She may, in fact, take over the mantle of Black Panther, even for a brief moment in the next Infinity War movie, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, because she's actually the next heir to the throne. So she will probably take it over. You got a good taste of her fighting ability towards the end there, which I kind of wanted them to kind of give me a little bit more of that, more of her fighting in that arena. Vision, we knew was going to get decimated. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, that was pretty much hell, he even knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, what I found strange, and no pun intended, was that Doctor Strange had the time, and we've talked about this too. He had the time stone, but did not use it.
Yeah.
I was surely, I just knew he was going to throw Thanos into some kind of wild loop. And I think what it is, man, is that even though we're fans of it and we know, we're diehard, so we know the outcome of Infinity War, there was this inkling of a 5% chance that you're like, okay, they're going to change it and they're going to let these people come out on top, and we'll probably get like some kind of battle in the next one. So when Doctor Strange went down, I kind of was like, yeah, but then once I sat around for like last couple of days and I just started thinking about it. He had already went ahead to see all of the outcomes.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly what needed to be done in order for the victory to take place. So he had to start the process. And that's what we got there towards the end, which is why he told Tony, I had to do it. Because otherwise, everybody got killed anyway.
Yeah.
So he already knew the chain of what's going to happen. Now, I have one thought that I wanted to throw out there, and this is something that nobody hadn't brought up, is so with Doctor Strange going away, who is going to take over like his mantle? Is anyone going to show up there to like kind of run that while he's gone? Is my man that's back at the base going to kind of handle that, or are we going to see a new character in the Doctor Strange universe show up? I mean, you have to think about this. I mean, we've got a lot of different avenues that Marvel can take. That start taking characters just by, for lack of better terms, basically side stories.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of things. I mean, we've speculated that. I don't want to call him Ape Man, because that's his comic name. But what's his name on Black Panther? That. There's a possibility he could probably vie for. Well, I fought him for it. I lost. I should take over the mantle and basically set that comic book battle up. I mean, you've got the Avengers, who are probably going to look for some new recruits. So you may have set up a new Avengers faction. I mean, it's just so many different ways that Marvel can take this. And I mean, you've got Ant-Man, who I talked to a guy today. He said he thinks Ant-Man was actually there, but you couldn't see him. With him being this, you couldn't see him. I said, you know what? That actually is makes some sense. Yo. Now that I thought about it, that's silly. What's up, Darrell? Welcome to the cast, man. 6-man tag, man. We got a 6-man tag.
6-man tag.
Darrell, we're talking Infinity War, my friend. Have you had a chance to go see it, correct?
Oh yes, I did.
What were your thoughts on Infinity War, and just your overall opinion, thoughts, and just some of the things that you observed?
All right, so I'm gonna start by saying I actually enjoyed the movie, man. I did. So first of all, starting from the back to I guess from the end to the beginning. If you from anywhere like where I'm from, can I do spoilers? Is that cool?
Hey, it's in the description. We're talking spoilers tonight. We're dissecting this movie from top to bottom.
Okay. Well, let's talk about how black people act when we get something and then lose it right afterwards. So
I know where you're going. I already know where you're going.
So when Thanos was whooping ass at the end and everybody was vanishing and all that stuff, everybody in the movie theater was like, oh, okay, like, dang, that kind of sucks. Like, they going away. Like, oh, man, that kind of sucks. And then that goddamn Black Panther left and everybody was like, whoa.
You know, that's what it's funny. You know, I hate to cut you off, but this is what we were talking about when we got into this, is that we were saying that, you know, if you read the comic, you knew that was, you know, I told somebody, I said, you better be glad he went out that way than the way he did in the comic book. I was like, I'll take that way all day of the week, because Tony, I really thought that some of these people will get dealt with like they got dealt with in the comic book. And I was like, well, if they get dealt with like that, man, that would be rough.
Now let me ask you this, because I had started reading Infinity War, the comic. I didn't get through the whole thing like a few days before I went to see the movie. So, and I'm going to finish reading it, but I had the impression that they weren't going to do that movie anything like the comic at all. And I'm talking about the 90s Infinity War.
Yeah. I really don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, we were kind of speculating. We didn't know. I mean, Marvel did a really good job in the social media driven world that we're in now of basically hiding everything. I think, Tony, you told me that they even gave the cast members each different scripts so that they wouldn't even know the outcome of the movie.
So, and I just enjoyed that. You know, that aspect of it. I felt like from what I was reading in Infinity War, they didn't do it. Now, Peter Parker's ending, that almost brought a tear to my eye, man. They had to drag him out. Like, I felt kind of bad on that one. Now, what I appreciate about Thanos is a villain's villain to me. Regardless of love, regardless of any of that. I mean, like, that's cool that we got the love, but nah, you got to go. Just throw her off. You got to go. This cause, he's doing that, just throwing Gamora off like that. That raised him up to like my top 3 villains ever. Like, out of all my villain favorites, that probably did it. Just being able to overcome that whole love aspect and getting what you want. Weirdly enough, I appreciate the fact that Hulk got his ass beat in the beginning.
See, here you can see you and Al, man. I mean, they neutered him, man. They neutered him like a dog. They neutered him just like a dog.
Bruh, if I was Hulk getting beat like that, I wouldn't want to come back out either.
I think that's why in the movie, that's why every time he would say, come out, you know, Hulk, come out, he go, no. I was thinking that's why he did it.
Nah, bro, you got that tap right there. Hulk got tapped early too, and so that now, Groot is a weird character to me, but I think I was like, weirdly enough, I appreciate the way that they had him help Thor get that axe back.
That's the part TC hated.
Really? I just started.
Yeah, because in the comic,
character to me.
Well, TC, you tell him. I don't want to take it.
Because that's not his weapon. That's not his hammer. It doesn't belong to him. And that was my whole thing. Is like, I mean, you had this opportunity to introduce yet another new character in there. I know people would have looked at it and be like, "Who is this horse-faced dude that's whooping everybody ass?" But I mean, that was Beta Ray Bill's hammer, and that's what I was just looking at. Like, this is just not right. I mean, and even if they introduce him later on, I mean, how are they gonna do it? Are they gonna give him Thor's new hammer and he gets another hammer out of the whole situation, or what? So, but you know, I mean, I know they're not gonna introduce his character. They did the little statue of him. He was on the side of the tower in Ragnarok. So
I'll tell you what.
That's about the most we're gonna get out of it.
Well, while we're on the topic of Thor's another character that got a really good fleshing out. I mean, I feel like, to be honest with you, man, after coming out for Ragnarok, I feel like, I still acknowledge, that we had the first two Thor movies, but I really felt like this was like the really true second coming of Thor. And they gave him that, you got a chance to see his raw power for a change.
Yeah.
That you don't normally get a chance to see that too often. I mean, it's like Tony says, it's the current, what you're looking at is the current Thor.
Yeah.
In the books now.
Yeah, it's the ultimate version of it.
Yeah. And he wrecked shop, man. When Thor dropped down, man, it was rating for Mortal Kombat, man.
Yeah. Oh, that was Thor brought the work, man.
Yeah.
Thor brought that work. So I can't be mad at him. And there were just some very interesting things that went on. Even Loki, they still kept that whole like ambiguous, like, okay, what are we gonna do with him?
Yeah,
I personally felt like every character got his justice. Now me, Captain America, Steve Rogers, I don't know why, man. I'm just kind of over him.
Why you over Captain America, man? What'd you say, TC? How you doing, man?
I mean, you know what, man? A lot of people have come to me and said that whole scene between him and Thanos was just weird and seemed out of place.
Yeah,
it's just like Thanos was just looking at him, not like, "Why are you so strong?" but like, who are you?
Well,
like, what are you doing?
Well, but to add to that, I was looking at him like, "Why are you so strong?" I mean, like Captain America, I understand he's a superhero. He's got like kind of like a level up, but I feel like I personally feel like they're giving Captain America Superman qualities. Hell, I'm over Superman. I just do.
I think everybody on this panel is over Superman. I think everybody on this show is over Superman. But
and Captain America, Captain America, I just want to see him get it handed to him. I think that's
he might get it handed to him in the second one.
I hope. Because I mean, everybody in that movie, like in some way, form, or fashion, other than Steve Rogers, got that work. Thanos gave him that work.
Yeah.
I felt like they were being real safe with Captain America.
He's the John Cena of the Marvel Universe. He's the John Cena of the Marvel Universe. I mean, literally, he's the John Cena of the Marvel Universe.
Mm-mm.
New shield, new Wakandan shield, and all.
Yeah. Like
Which if I had one complaint, I did not like that shield. It looked really
that little piece of shit shield.
Yeah. I was like, what is this Boy Scout shield?
Right.
This dude
it was cute.
All that vibranium.
That shield looked like that Arsenal shield on your wall right there.
I mean, it's literally what it looks like. It was just like the Arsenal shield. That's exactly what it looked like. And
it was probably about that big too.
That's exactly what it looked like. So, who knows what they're going to do with him going around.
I just want somebody to really whoop off in Captain America ass. And as a kid, I used to be a Captain America fan. I'm so over it now. He ain't got no soul to him.
All right, so let's talk about let's move on from them. Let's go to the Guardians because all right, here we go. Guardians are pretty much wreck shop. They're pretty much done and dusted according to the end of the movie. We've got
Cliff
what is
looked it
that?
up.
What do we got? What three characters from the Guardians going? TC?
Mhm.
No, we got four. Is it four?
Yeah, the only
Five?
person
No, we
left
got five.
is Rocket.
Yeah, and Star-Lord is gone too.
Yeah.
So here is an opportunity. If you saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you saw them. They were in the movie. Is now you got a chance to bring in the original Guardians of the Galaxy to take their rightful place in the MCU. Do you all think I'm asking on this panel? Do you all think that that is a high possibility right now?
Oh yeah.
I think so. Provided I want to see what they're actually going to do with Gamora, but I think it's possible.
I think they're gonna resurrect Gamora. To be
Yeah,
honest, I think they're gonna bring her back.
So I mean, it depends on the spacing. It depends on if they bring her back. I think everything depends on if they bring her back.
Yeah, TC.
You know, with Gamora, that's a character you really. I mean, you can bring her back, you can not bring her back, and it really. I'm not saying it wouldn't matter, but there are enough characters in the whole cinematic universe that they could actually fill that in on their own. So either way, yeah. I mean, it's really a coin flip on that. So.
All right, so let's stay in the cosmos. Let's stay in the cosmos then, and
Speaking
we'll go.
of Cosmos, where was Cosmos? You know, I expected to see him when he went to nowhere.
Your guess is as good as mine because I was looking for him. I actually thought he was going to be the first person that showed up on the scene.
Yeah,
like when they got there, I thought he was going to actually be there. Like, Thor, what's going on? Talk to me, man. You know, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's no doubt that I believe Marvel's got a lot of tricks up their sleeves.
I'm thinking they're going to put a lot of weight on that second movie. So people that we might be looking for may show up.
I mean, between that and between the destruction of Xandar, which we didn't even get to see, which I'd have liked to saw.
Yeah.
I mean, where's Nova Corps?
That's and that's exactly where I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to go right into. All right, so are we going to see the Nova Corps, the second movie, or are they going to introduce them in someone else's movie? You know, I've been talking all weekend about Adam Warlock to y'all. So, I mean, where are these individuals going to fit in here? It's like I told y'all off air. Adam Warlock has to be in this movie. He has to be in this second movie. He has to be in it.
In all honesty, I don't think he's going to be in it. I think he might be introduced at the end of it, but.
Thoughts, Jarrell?
I don't know enough about him, but I'm looking at him now. That doesn't seem plausible, bro. Just looking at what I can piece up about him now. No, that's not Hollywood enough, man. I don't know anything about him, and I can look at this character now and say that that's not Hollywood enough.
Well, I mean, this is the thing: is that okay? All right, we know how it goes. And for those, I'm not going to go that far in the spoilers. Folks who may have not read the entire Infinity War is Infinity Gauntlet, rather. Captain Marvel, yeah, she can get the job done, but Adam Warlock has to get help. I mean, it has. I've told Tony I've had my doubts, and TC, can you tell me, or I can look it up? What do we have on the docket before the Infinity War movie? This part 2.
The only thing we have is Miss Marvel.
So that's the only thing.
They not going to do a Captain Marvel movie before then?
That's it.
That's all. Just kept them off.
That's it. And that's set in the 90s. So they're not the Ant-Man and Wasp comes out next month. That's set before the Infinity War.
Let me
Miss
ask
Marvel
you,
isn't set in the 90s. So
in the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, Goliath, they showed Goliath.
Yeah.
Who was played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? Or is that just gonna be like an introduction and
You mean the Black Goliath?
Well, he's supposed to be the villain.
What, in Ant-Man?
Yeah.
really?
So they're gonna make him the villain.
That's what the rumor was back when they were talking about production wise. It may have changed.
How are they gonna make Goliath a villain?
That's what I was wondering.
And
unless they're gonna go the Bucky route. Remember, Bucky was the villain too now.
That's true.
And turned out, he's a good guy. So they may go the Bucky route. Personally, sitting here talking about that, it doesn't make any sense to me. But hell, after Infinity War, what the hell do I know?
Well, my question: Black Goliath died before Infinity War. He died in Civil War.
Civil War.
Right. So, how does that timeline match up?
Well, I'm thinking, TC, did he not fight in Infinity War? I can't remember. I can't remember if he was in there or not. Did he fight him?
Who?
Black Goliath.
No,
he didn't fight in it. No, okay. I can remember if he was in there or not, or even after. Well, I'm not gonna go that far because I'll give too much away. So no. So yeah, it was Civil. I know for a fact he died in Civil War.
Right. I mean, that's a known thing. So how are they showing these movies? And what that's what I'm saying.
Well,
how are these movies lining
up? They got to go all out of line because they're missing so many characters.
Yeah, and see that goes back to that Disney deal. That's that before you got on the rail, we was talking about the Disney deal and how there's a high possibility that deal could go through and they can probably fit. Because see, really, to be honest with you, man, this is missing in Fantastic Four. That's a major chunk.
Because Mr. Fantastic has a big hand in a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, so you're missing a huge chunk of Infinity War without these characters.
Okay.
I mean, you got X-Men played a role in it. I mean, you got a lot of characters that played a role in battling Thanos. So, like I said, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Me and Al, we did a show. I think it was about 3 shows ago or something like that. And I said a lot of this is basically, man, just jockeying for position. Oh, the deal is off. We're not gonna do anything. No movement. And for those who don't believe that they're just pretty much just talking trash. I mean, just look no further than this past weekend with Sprint and T-Mobile. So I believe the deal will get done. How close to the next movie, I don't know. The deal could already be done. There could be an embargo. That's what the word I was looking for earlier, TC. There could be an embargo on it. We may never know. We may not know until it goes through. I mean, just look at professional wrestling. A lot of these guys, we don't even know until they show up the night of.
Yeah.
There. So there's a high possibility that we may walk into the theater for the Infinity War Part 2 and then turn around and here's the X-Men jumping on the screen. Because there were a lot of people, those rumors were real heavy, that people were like, oh, man, they're possibly going to put the X-Men, they're going to make an appearance in this movie, or they're going to make some kind of, there was a lot of rumors floating around. Now, I just didn't see it because of how could you do that without the deal going through?
Right.
I mean, once that deal got announced, that pretty much nixed that. So I think that if this deal does get done, I really do. I really think if this deal gets done, they could probably even have shot this. But I believe they'll go back and reshoot parts of it to add in characters that they got, especially if they decide to cast characters that are already in place, a la whoever was in Fantastic Four. They decide to go through with that. Now, what's funny is, wait a minute, who played Johnny Blaze in that last? Because I didn't see that last one.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, they're gonna have to go get somebody else because he can't do There's no way he could come back as as a Johnny Blaze after just getting thrown off a cliff. So no, so it all just depends on what Marvel wants to do and how where they want to take it. But there's so many holes there that they can fit in characters, which would be awesome. It would be absolutely unprecedented for them to do something like that. Drill?
I had one question, man, and it was in don't quote me, but I think it was in one of the Thanos comics. At the end of Infinity War, T'Challa is walking down this hallway. I think it's the new Thanos. It might have been issue 13, don't quote me. T'Challa's walking down this big hallway, and there is like Iron Man's helmet and stuff like that. And he's talking about Infinity War to his granddaughter. Do you know what I'm talking about?
DC, you have any clue?
No, I hadn't.
That's an Al. Yeah, that's an Al question. Yeah, man.
Okay. That's because I'm trying to figure out and anticipate it, and I'm pulling from different sources how that works. But I know at the end of Infinity War, and I'm trying to find it so I can send it to you guys. But I saw it a long time ago, not a long time ago, like maybe a month ago. And I'm just trying to piece it. So that's actually what's been on my mind about Infinity War. How does this whole scene with T'Challa walking down with his granddaughter, talking about how everything happened, like how does that work? And also with Infinity War, when does the Punisher come in?
Punisher's gonna be they're not gonna bring in Punisher. They're gonna keep the TV, and they're gonna keep TV and movie completely separate. Now
I really wish they wouldn't. I mean, there's some characters they could. I mean, you can bring over some of those characters. I mean, there's some like Ghost Rider. You can bring Ghost Rider in. He can hold his own against most of those villains or anything else like that. He can be able to hold his own on there in that situation. Maybe not Daredevil. Luke Cage could, because I mean, pretty much. Yeah. Probably not Jessica Jones, and damn sure not Iron Fist, but.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Cage, Ghost Rider, definitely. They can go in there. They can be able to hold their own against pretty much any major villain, especially Ghost Rider. I mean, come on. It's Ghost Rider. Just don't.
The cosmic Ghost Rider?
Don't Nicolas Cage. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I don't want to see Nicolas Cage as another Ghost Rider. Disney.
Yeah, did you see that this week? Did y'all see that where he said he wanted to do it again? I was like,
no, he don't want to do it.
No.
No more of that, man. No more of that, man.
I'm good on Nicolas Cage. Anything.
Yeah.
So there's also, I think Al is actually in the chat. I know he's at work at the he's putting the World Heavyweight title on the line. But Al, if you're listening, damn it, I hate it when I'm getting old, man. I just forgot what I was gonna say. Crap, I just went blank. What were we talking about again? It was the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Crap, I forgot what it is. It didn't come to me. Damn.
Before we were talking about Ghost Rider, we were talking about that whole scene with Black Panther and his granddaughter and all of that stuff.
No, it wasn't that. It was
something that Ghost Rider.
I forgot now. Doggone it, and it was a question for Al too. I totally forgot. Oh no, I'll think about it when we off air. I guarantee. So the consensus is, that this movie is earth shattering. I mean, look at the numbers. There was an article that came out. We saw it in our group yesterday. TC posted it, and it was a guy. I call it gaslighting of the highest quality. Basically, and I know Larry's going to show up in any second. Now, any moment, Larry's going to show up. The gaslighting about this movie with Justice League. Now, I'll be the first person to tell you how there's no comparison. There's no compare. You cannot compare a movie that has been in the making, and listen to this, in the making for 10 years to a movie that some guys put together sitting around a bar named Cheers.
Yeah.
And expect that movie to come out and outgross a movie that people have been waiting on for 10 years.
But you know
There's,
why they do that? You know why they do that, right?
speak on it.
It's because DC put out their A list. They put out their, I mean, as they call it, they put out their ringers. They put out like their top characters. You put Superman, you put Wonder Woman, you put Batman, you put Aquaman, you put Flash. All these characters, that's their top characters as far as comic book wise, as far as even the merchandise sales, anything like that. It's those characters, and you put up basically your A team, and it didn't work out. Now, what I'll say, this is what I'll say, and a lot of people, like you said, they keep comparing Marvel to DC, and it's like, oh well, the DC movie's not as good as the Marvel movie because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the company as far as the comic book itself, the comic book company. It's not DC's fault that they're doing as far as less money wise in movies than Marvel is, and it's not Marvel. I mean, they're not. If you compare it character wise, story wise, DC just has as many interesting characters and story as Marvel does. The thing is, it's the companies behind it. Warner Brothers behind DC is not. They're not using that to their full potential. Whereas Disney went and bought Marvel, and they're just basically throwing money at it until it's good.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is not willing to do that because they haven't had anything besides Batman to actually go out there and make a dent in the comic hero market movie wise. I mean, Batman is he's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's it.
Yeah, well,
Superman
and Wonder
didn't
Woman.
do it. I mean, Wonder Woman was decent, but it didn't put up Batman numbers.
No, it did. You're right.
So
You're right.
I say it's the companies that's backing it. I mean, I'm not saying Disney should buy DC, but if it happens,
Yeah. You're like, yes, please. Oh my God.
Please buy them.
If it happened, I think they could be able to turn that franchise completely around.
Yeah,
With
but
the
if they did that, Tony,
they have, with the heroes they have, the villains they have, the comic stories that they have, you could put that. You could bring it basically from paper to picture on the big screen, and you can make money off of it.
And you think Disney could do that?
Well,
I do.
Well, now this is the pure comic side of it. Now, would you not think that the storage would suffer if DC was bought out by Marvel?
That's my curiosity.
Well, no, they wouldn't be owned by Marvel. They'd be owned by Disney.
I mean, excuse me, if Disney, excuse me, I meant Disney.
Yeah,
Disney.
I mean, but the movie rights is a whole different thing compared to what they're doing comic book wise, because they have contracts with these story writers that are doing stories for these characters for the book.
You know, it's funny because it's since we've only got like 3 of us on tonight. It's funny because I thought about just doing basically a free for all, and that's basically what we're doing now. So I'm gonna throw this out there on the floor. Okay, let's just be realistic. Let's say Disney's out of the equation. Let's say Disney's out of the equation. Mm-hmm. Let's say Warner Brothers says, you know what, we tried this and it's not working. Who would you like to see pick up the DC properties, and that could actually do something with it to turn it around? Because, like you said, my biggest thing here with DC is the fact that, and we're going to talk about this. I'm hoping Xavier gets on, because I know I hadn't watched it, but I know Xavier probably has watched it. But you see the animated movies and how good the animated movies are, and they're not, that product is not translating to the big screen. So could you say that, would you let the people who are writing the shows, the animated shows and the movies, to say, hey man, can y'all work y'all magic on some of these properties that are going to the big screen? or is DC just obsessed with just trying to get like a big name to just basically direct something and hope that it sticks to the wall and there's a win? What would you like to see change that will put DC on the same playing field? Because let's just be real, and we're all wrestling fans on this panel, and we all know about the golden age of wrestling. When there's competition, everybody wins. So what would you all, you know, I don't care who goes first, but what would you like to see as far as something that could turn the tide of some of these DC movies?
I think Netflix. I think Netflix should pick up a DC. I
I
think.
mean, well, Netflix, is Netflix now doing like, well, yeah, they're funding their
Yeah,
TV
they're doing
shows,
major
but obviously they're
movies.
doing major movies now.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, that's a really good thought. TC, your thoughts?
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say Netflix, and a major thing that to me, that they have problems with is the casting for the characters they have. It's really just a few have been a hit, and there's been a lot of misses on there for
Oh yeah, we know. I
it.
know.
It's the casting for it. I mean, Green Lantern fell flat on his face.
Yeah.
I mean, they still joke about it today with the whole animated suit that they had for it. Aquaman. I mean, they're supposed to do an Aquaman movie. It's supposed to come out pretty soon, from what I understand. I mean, Jason Momoa, he looks the part, but when he speaks, it's just like just do
Mike
the action
Tyson.
scenes.
Mike Tyson has a fight.
Just do the action scenes, dude. Don't even say anything. Just do the action scenes. Don't say anything, and we're good to go. And that's it with that character. But I mean, basically, their number one nailed character is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot nailed that part. Still nails it to this day. Batman, Ben gotta go. That's not. I don't want to see that no more. Ben gotta go. And Henry Cavill, I mean, he looks the part. You know, that's another one. I pretty much put him in the same boat with Aquaman. He looks the part, but when he talks, it's just like I don't. There's no emotion behind his character on there for it. So to me, it's the casting, and Netflix would be a perfect company to actually grab up the DC franchise. And even if you did small, short movies, you wouldn't have to do a full 2.5 hour movie on there for it. Do something with a smaller character, build it up from there, and work your way up.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that Warner Brothers did, I believe, with Justice League, is that there was no build up to it. You just basically like, we're just gonna throw the team together, boom, here you go, and that's it.
And that's well, you know what? That's what I was going to. I was going to go into that, and when we were talking about the my initial monologue there on Infinity War, comparing the two, is that you had movies. See, what people don't realize is that we've had movies that established every character that was in Infinity War. Every character was established via a movie leading up to this.
Yeah.
You got Justice League got out of a cab and showed up on the screen. We didn't, we know who these folks were, but the average fan who is not a diehard fan, when I say diehard fan, I'm talking Aquaman fan. You have to be a diehard Aquaman fan to even know who that is, and to see that. Well, we all know who Wonder Woman is by default. We're gonna know who that is. Superman by default, Batman by default. Nobody knew who Cyborg was outside.
And recast Flash all the way over, and just either do a Wally West adult, I'm a grown man Flash and I know what I'm doing, or just take him out altogether. Because they talk about the next movie, it's going to be Flashpoint. And it's like, how can you skip basically everything and just go straight into a Flashpoint movie?
I mean, that's the kind of stuff, but that's the kind of stuff that's shooting DC in the foot. That's what shoots them in the foot, is that they're not, we have, God, Lord have mercy. Here we got to go through this again. Every 6 months we bring this up. There is material out there for you to use. You've got source material galore. This is why I don't understand what's going on in these board meetings and what they're talking about. Because all you gotta do is get the books. The books are out there. Go get the books are out there. Use what the material says, and then if you need to make a slight adjustment, that's cool. But anybody who knows what Flashpoint is knows that's basically telling me we're gonna put Kylo Ren in Return of the Jedi.
But the problem is with that is that they'll go and grab the book and they'll put that in an animated movie and put that out. But they won't do it for a live action. And I don't know if it's because of the budget that they don't want to do it. But they have more success. To me, the animated movies have been better than just about anything that they've ever put out on it before. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Tony, you're talking about Warner Brothers. Folks that like, oh man, they're strapped for cash. These folks got money. It's just
they putting out movie after movie. I mean, they just put out Pacific Rim.
That's what I'm saying. 2 within a what? How many years? 6 period? What, a 5-year period? Within a 5-year period, something like that.
Yeah.
So they've got to do some soul searching as far as if they're trying. They have to make it first. They have to. It's like an alcoholic, and this is not a slight to the alcoholics that are watching this show and recovering addicts, but they'll tell you that the first thing you have to do is admit you've got a problem. The second thing you do is you start working towards fixing that problem. Now, Larry, welcome to the panel. Of course, I knew that you were going to sting your way in, coming down from the Raptors on it. We knew that was going to happen. We knew that. We were already planning for you. But we're basically just talking about how it's really hard to compare Infinity War and Justice League, considering how much work was put into getting Infinity War to where it is, and then comparing it to Justice League that was basically slapped together. I'll go to the grave saying the movie wasn't bad, but it's not mute of criticism. They did not establish. Folks are gonna go. I know. God, I hate Xavier's not on that because Xavier will love this one. It is that Superman and Batman. To me, that is not a proper establishment of Superman and Batman for Justice League.
Correct.
I mean, am I wrong in that, Tony?
No,
am I wrong in that?
You're right.
Yeah. I don't. That movie was not a proper establishment for that. And so basically, it's we're gonna give you Superman versus Batman. We'll give you a Wonder Woman cameo just to wet your whistle, and so you know who they are. And we'll give Wonder Woman the movie, and we're gonna go ahead and just give you Cyborg, Aquaman, and we'll throw it all together. And we're gonna leave out Green Lantern too, by the way. That's kind of how I looked at. How I looked at it. So when you see that and you jam it in like that, you don't have that full organic build up, per se, as you had with Captain America. You had you had Iron Man. We're gonna go all the way back. We're going to Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. Y'all can recognize Iron Man 3. I'm not even gonna recognize that. You got what was that? What was after Iron Man 3? Captain America. Captain America came after Iron Man 3, right?
Oh, Captain America came in after Iron Man 1, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know it's been a long time since that movie came out. So Captain America. What came after Captain America? Avengers.
No, it was Thor.
Thor. Oh yeah.
Got the Tesseract right here.
Okay, yeah, Thor. Yeah, Thor 1 and 2 was rough, man. And but you see how basically what I'm saying is basically you see how they organically built it up. And DC, I think, has this thing where we've got to catch Marvel now. You don't have to try to catch Marvel now. Just worry about making a good product.
Oh, I don't think they thought they had to catch Marvel, though, man. They've been making Batman and Superman movies for the past 80 years.
Well, Larry, the thing is that you got these writers, and you saw that gaslighting article yesterday. Is that you got these folks who, oh well, man, it made more money than just. Of course, it's going to make more money than just.
But
It's like telling me. That's like telling me that oh, hey man, Soul Calibur made more money than Clay Fighters. Of
but
course, it's gonna make more money than Clay Fighters.
Infinity War did what it was supposed to do, but Justice League underwhelmed. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people thought come on, man.
People thought Justice League was gonna be this.
900 million, and it was done. All I'm saying is that, like I told y'all yesterday in the thread, Marvel has the right, and the writers have the right to celebrate a Marvel win. Because if Justice League had have done these type of numbers, then it would have been some article somewhere, somebody saying, "Oh, Marvel's reign is over. DC is here now." It's what the media does. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and that I give you that point. You know, as somebody who works in the media, I know that you're gonna have those kind of clickbait, gaslighting, fireball articles to.
But now for them to say that Infinity War beat, I think their whole thing was it beat it in one day.
I mean, come on, man.
Well, it was like 4 days time. It beat the total amount that Justice League made in like 4 days.
We knew this. That's what I'm saying. We all knew this. I knew it was gonna be Black Panther. I knew this. We were saying that. Go back and look 2 shows ago. We were saying, "Oh yeah, Infinity War's gonna." I think Tony was one that said it's gonna outdo Black Panther.
But you're an insider. You gotta think about the people who read this article who are not insiders or who didn't have. You gotta think about all the people who just went and saw Black Panther and it hopped on the Marvel bandwagon because Black Panther was in Infinity War. Or the people it's a lot of people who didn't know that movie was gonna do it. My wife didn't know that movie was gonna do those type of numbers. She's like, wow, it beat Black Panther. So that article is justified for certain people who didn't know that movie was gonna do those type of numbers.
Well, since you just not coming on the panel there, let's go ahead and get you in on this too. What Infinity War has, of course, come and gone. You saw it the first night as well. Matter of fact, you saw it the show after we saw it. What was your thoughts on it, and what was your overall thoughts on it, and we know it's probably your number 1 movie now.
No, I still got Winter Soldier at number 1.
See, I'm telling you, man, Winter Soldier, it's just really good, solid movie, man. I can watch that movie like I watch Beverly Hills Cop.
It's like I was saying, man. The rest of them are good superhero movies. Winter Soldier is a good movie, period. It's just the way it was written, the fight scenes, and I guess because they went ahead and introduced Captain America in the first Avenger, that the second movie they didn't waste any time. The movie came on, he jumped out the plane, he started beating people up, and I mean it was on from when it came on until it went off, and there was not one point that it lit up as far as the Winter Soldier. And Infinity War, it was a 2.5 hour movie. You know, I went in at 10:20 and didn't get out till 12:50. So I mean, at some points it loses you just a little bit. But I think the movie is great. I think it was well put together. I think the tones were excellent in how they shifted from serious to funny, serious to funny, serious to funny. I got a new respect for Doctor Strange, even though they saying that he learned the mystic arts in like a year. Spider-Man, I think, was excellent. The Iron Spider was
dope.
Comic book accurate with the legs. I mean, Thanos was, they gave him a spin. His motives are different. But he was, for what they did with him in the movie, he was great. He almost had a Darth Vader type feel, man. And anytime he came over to the screen, it was like, oh, here you go. What are you gonna do now? The only thing I would say was a little off, and I know y'all probably already talked about it, was the Hulk. Readers know that, that's a little exaggeration of how Thanos did it. Other than that, like I said, everything was great. Captain America probably could have had just a little bit more screen time. The Black Widow, think she had probably adequate screen time. I think they got rid of the Black Order too easily. I think they beat them too easily. Like when Steve and showed up, Steve and Black Widow them showed up the first time. It's like, man, the Black Order, like they were kind of weak. You know, they beat them pretty easily. And even in Wakanda, I didn't expect them to die. So but those just small takeaways I got. But yeah.
What's your thoughts on Captain Marvel arriving?
I mean, I'm waiting for it, man. They say it's gonna be the most powerful hero they ever put on screen. Brie Larson looks good in the role so far. They showed her in the Kree suit and they showed her in the Captain Marvel suit. So, if they can do it like they managed to do Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and all the rest of them, they'll make a hit out of it.
So, you know, we all discussed different scenarios, and one going back to studios is that could you see Marvel basically securing this deal with Fox, you know, getting these properties, buying them up, media embargo, nobody knows anything, kind of keeping it low key like everybody, you know, what they did with Infinity War. And do you think that they could actually probably put some of these characters that was not in the you know, that are in the comic into the upcoming movie?
Anything's possible. I don't see it personally. I just think the movie's done, finished, and I think the Fox deal is really gonna concentrate for things after Avengers, all things Avengers, because they're gonna need something to keep the MCU going after. I mean, the Avengers gonna sell itself. I don't think they really need to add anything to it. I just think after the Avengers, they're gonna need the X-Men, Fantastic Four, whoever else they can bring in to sustain what they've got going. Because once the Avengers die, and once this first phase goes, this 10-year span goes, it's like, where do you go from here? So you're gonna need something epic in order to pick that up, and I think that's what a Fox deal will pick up.
Cool. Well, like I said, it was a great movie. It was well worth the wait. We've been talking about it for a while. It delivered, and kudos to Marvel on a you have to give them a round of applause for a solid movie. Keep up the good work, Marvel. DC, I'm still down for the cause, so don't. Hey, I'm riding the dime. I'm still a DC man too. So
if they do good, hey man, it's good for comics.
That's what I said. You know, it's just like we all, and it's right before you got on. I said we all grew up in the golden age of wrestling, and we all saw the battles of WCW and WWF and how good it was, and how good it was for the business. And that's ultimately what you want. It's something that keeps everybody interested in, and everybody enjoys it. You know. So, all right. Well, let's move away from Infinity War. We didn't spoil it too bad for y'all. And let's go to the next monkey in the room, which is, we alluded to it, Captain Marvel will be coming out next year. And screens have been shown. And I for one, had a hell of a laugh when I saw Samuel L. Jackson. Looking like Pulp Fiction. Samuel L. Jackson.
A lot of makeup.
I was like, wow. They roll back the clock on him. For those who are comic collectors, you might want to try to go ahead and get if you don't have it already, go ahead and get your Miss Marvel #1. TC, what was the last thing you seen that book trending at, my friend?
I think the cheapest one was like right at $75.
Yeah, so it's starting to climb. A couple of months ago, you could have got that for you anywhere from about 30 to 40, but it's starting to peak. And as that movie gets close, it's going to start getting out of range. And one thing with those, if you can find, I think there's a couple of really high top dollar variants. If you can find them in the wild, grab them. I think one of them is the Grenoble variant. TC, is that it? The one with her standing on the plane.
Oh, the first cameo of Kamala Khan.
Yeah, do you have that one, Larry?
I don't have the variant.
okay, I was going to like, man, I'm surprised you don't have. I'm actually surprised you don't have it. But if you see that in the wild, I'll be looking while we in Savannah next week. I will be looking for that book. You know, if it's at a decent price, I may bring that back to the house. Besides, that's a badass cover too. I like that cover. Um, we've got different ways. You know, Captain Marvel, I think, is going to open up a lot of avenues for future stuff coming down the line. Of course, Larry alluded to the suit, the Kree suit. Uh, TC's been hollering about the Kree. Where's the Kree at? Where's the Kree at? If you watched Agents of Shield, they've mentioned the Kree. So I think the Kree, safe to say, the Kree is going to make their appearance in some shape, form, or fashion in Captain Marvel, and that opens the door for the Celestials and everything else in between. So, fellas, question: Should if you are collecting, if you're collecting books, would now be the opportune time to start looking into the Cosmos books, Cosmos realm? And I know what Al would say, the Cosmos realm of collecting. And who would you say pick up? I'll start with Larry. Start with you first.
You know, man, I'm not a big fan of the Cosmos, but that's definitely where Marvel is headed. They hold up all of it. But if they do go there, they've already mentioned Nova, the Nova Corps. Um, like I say, anything to do with the Celestials. What's the guy? He was just in the Avengers actually, and No Surrender. They had 3 or 4 Celestials in that book, so they're definitely headed toward that area. But like I said, I would hold up, just see how the movies fare, or see what how they set them up before you actually go right there and start buying a bunch of Cosmos books, unless you're already into it.
Yeah. Darrell, not sure if you follow the Cosmos or not, my friend.
I don't follow the Cosmos like that.
All right. We'll slide past you. TC, TC, your thoughts on the Cosmos, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially if Marvel can get the deal done with Fox and bringing in Silver Surfer and I mean the rest of that whole universe on there for it. I mean, you can really expand on it. Probably the comics I would be looking at would be Adam Warlock, because I mean that's something that I believe we're gonna get in. I think it's gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't think they're gonna put him in
Yeah, that's what
in the next Infinity War. I think it's gonna be the next Guardians.
He said Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Say it again, Larry.
That's what James Cameron said. He was gonna put him in Guardians 3.
Okay, well, there it is. So we'll have to wait for him until then.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's one of those characters they're going to expand on, because I mean, he's a pretty interesting character, but you just got to do his story right to introduce him right to everybody.
You know, without getting too technical, they kind of alluded to it, how they could go, because you know they were saying that Adam Warlock is the guardian, the true guardian of the Soul Stone, and they were saying when Infinity War went off, was Thanos inside the Soul Stone, or was he sitting in some other realm? A lot of people think he was actually in the Soul Stone since he saw the childhood Gamora, and that would open way for Adam Warlock to come in, since he's supposed to be, you know, the guardian of the Soul Stone and all that other stuff. But you know, who knows where they're going with that? Yeah,
remains to be seen. I'll throw one out there, man, and I'm gonna go back to if these properties get bought. Galactus is one you definitely want to try to get some Galactus appearances, early Galactus appearances.
I think that's going to be somebody that they're going to do later on. I think there's going to be a build up for Galactus. I don't think it's going to be hopefully it won't be the Silver Surfer, the Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
That would be a worthy way to build, like they did this phase. Galactus could be the, you know, Thanos of the next phase.
I mean, you got Thanos, you got a true. Listen to me when I say this: a true Doctor Doom. I'm talking about a guy in a London Fog jacket that he got from Burlington Coat Factory. I'm talking about a true Doctor Doom could be done correctly. If this thing goes through, you got major villains that they can go. And like Larry just said, Thanos, not Thanos, but Galactus could be the new Thanos uh, in the MCU, and it
You
would make
think
sense.
so?
I would actually like to see. To be honest with you, man, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. If they buy out X-Men, please, for God's sake, do a proper apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
For God's sake, please, please give me a true apocalypse. Not this guy from Power Rangers.
Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, not this Spawn from Venom. So give me some real stuff, man. I
In
mean,
Venom's defense, man, the suit looked good. I just don't see how you can have a proper Venom movie without fleshing out the character properly. I mean, you can't have a Venom movie without Spider-Man. The suit itself has even mimicked itself after Spider-Man.
you're trying to explain a movie that Sony is producing. That is not going. You can't do that because Sony doesn't even know what they're doing. Sony doesn't even know what they're doing. They're just hoping that this doo-doo sticks on the wall.
I mean,
That's silly.
Spider-Man's supposed to be in it, so
yeah, Peter Parker.
Right. It's Tom Holland just supposed to be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
We'll see how that.
Like I said, it is what it is. But Captain Marvel, I think, is going to really, really open some doors for a lot of characters. And I told Tony Sunday we were talking about it, and I was just going back thinking about the end credit scene. And somebody asked, I saw somebody was like, "Well, why is they got that old beeper?" And I said, "It's probably something that he had from how to connect with her from the '90s, because that movie is based from the '90s anyway. So I'm sure that's probably what that was." But what I find amazing is a lot of people had no clue, and Al talked about this, no clue. And we even heard a couple of rumbles when we were in the theater. People were like, "Who is that? What is that?" And but it's Captain Marvel, man. So a lot of get ready. A lot of ladies are going to attach themselves to Captain Marvel.
Well, I've got students, bro. Like I've got a student in my art class now that was probably the most like for her. She's a Captain Marvel follower, little young lady in my classroom, and she was more excited about that than the damn Infinity War movie.
Wow. I mean, it's gonna make some money, man. You want to talk about another cash cow? These ladies, and this is not a knock on my ladies, are gonna go out there. They're gonna go watch this movie because Captain Marvel, heroine at the top. Oh yeah, get ready. Next year at Dragon Con, you're gonna see Miss Marvel all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what I told you, man, Marvel has infiltrated pop culture. Is what they've done. This is no longer a comic book only fraternity. This is people, anybody who wants to go see these movies and be a part of what we've known forever. They're now a part of it, and there's no way in the world it for pop culture. That's you don't have to know a book anymore to be able to enjoy these books, and that's what they had to do. That's why the ending was the way it was, and I think Thanos, they had to change him and do certain things in that movie because it's pop culture.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on. And
see y'all later, guys.
All right, brother. We'll catch you on the rebound, man.
All right now.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk Ant-Man. The new trailer came out, I believe it was the day before yesterday, and I was thrilled. It looks really good. It looks hilarious, and I'm kind of excited to see it now, man. I was that first trailer, I was kind of scratching my head, and when I saw the second trailer, I said, okay, yeah, this is right along my speed. TC, your thoughts on the new Ant-Man trailer, my friend?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, to be honest with you, man, from what I saw, this is more of a, especially with the heavy emotional way Infinity War was for that whole movie. I think this is going to be something a little more lighthearted and a little bit more. I mean, I know people they down on it because they're saying, "Oh man, it's a lot of jokes and a lot of comedy in it." But I mean, it's about a dude that can shrink and talks to ants. So, I mean, if you can't have fun with that, a little bit of fun with that, I mean, what's wrong with you? Really? That's just the way I see it, man. I'm looking forward to it. The big thing I like that they're bringing back the dude telling the story, and I wish he was in. I know this took place. This is gonna take place before the Infinity War, but I wish he was actually in Infinity War and do the whole explanation to bring us up to speed on what's going on. That'd have been tight at the beginning of it.
Larry?
As far as Ant-Man, me personally, I gotta get past the dude that's on my shirt first. I gotta see Wade. That's the elephant in the room.
Well,
man.
that's if you hold on, man, we're gonna talk about him next.
I gotta see. But after him, I wasn't a big. I put it like this. I wasn't in a hurry, like movie theater wise, to see the first Ant-Man. I actually caught it on Blu-ray and DVD, and I enjoyed it. So would I go see Ant-Man and the Wasp? Yeah, sure I would. Is there a huge interest there for me? No. But would I go see it as a fun movie just to go see? I guess it kind of reminded me of the first Guardians. The first Guardians kind of caught me off guard. I went to see it just on a whim, like, oh, let me just see what this is about. And I actually enjoyed it. So Ant-Man and the Wasp will probably be the same way.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and roll over to the next topic, which is hold that shirt up right quick, Larry. We've got Deadpool. Is what are we, TC? How many weeks are we from Deadpool now?
2 weeks?
Like two?
Three weeks.
3 weeks, something like that.
3 weeks.
So Deadpool is coming, and once again, we have no clue who the villain is. They're doing a good job of keeping that under wraps. And once again, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. I was a little worried there because we heard last year, well, not last year, but earlier this year, a couple of people was not satisfied. But it looks like it's going to be a hilarious show, a hilarious movie again, and I'm sure we're going to get some good hot Marvel spec out of this, Larry. Books we have to go grab at some point because there's no telling who's in that movie. TC, your thoughts as we close in on Deadpool, because once again it goes back to what you just said. It'd be nice to have some lighthearted silliness.
Yeah,
coming off of this last movie.
I mean, I actually really am looking forward to Deadpool. And the main thing is that it's a lot of mystery behind the movie, because I don't know who's gonna show up in this movie, because they really hadn't shown. I mean, they showed like the X-Force and they showed Cable and Deadpool, but you really don't know who else is gonna be in this movie. And with it being a Fox movie and them having the right to the X-Men and everything else, I mean, you don't really know who could show up in this and just make a small cameo appearance in there for it. So that's really what I'm looking forward to more out of this movie than anything else, is to see who else is going to be in
it. This is also an opportunity for Fox. Larry, I always tell you I have to buy down because I was wrong with Logan. This is a chance for them to hit 2 in a row, which I don't think I've seen that in quite a while from Fox on the X-Men franchise. So, well, if you want to count this X-Men franchise, depends on how you want to count it. Larry, thoughts going into Deadpool, my friend? That's your boy now. This is your boy.
Hey man, we gonna see. I'm still a little skeptical. I'm gonna be honest. Can they pull it off again? The first one, low budget. It turned out to be a hell of a movie. Second time, they went through the directors. I don't know. The X-Force thing. They doing it. Wade do it. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely gonna go see it, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. I know it's gonna be funny, but how good of a movie is are they gonna trade the movie for humor?
Yeah.
I think the first movie they did a good balance of both. I just don't want them to let comedy get in the way of what's supposed to be like Deadpool.
Yeah. But we will see. We gotta find out if TC. We gotta check see if they're gonna do that IMAX, man, because IMAX wasn't showing up.
No, I don't think he actually is doing a
Fandango.
Really?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they're doing a IMAX version of it. So
Hey, for people, that's the only way to see Infinity War. IMAX 3D.
Yeah, IMAX 3D, man. That movie was great. That movie was great in that. I think last two movies me and TC have seen together, we've seen them in IMAX. Last three, no, last four in IMAX.
That's the only way to see it.
Yeah, me last five. Now I thought about Justice League. So yeah.
but I mean,
No,
with
it's not here. The only waste was Batman versus Superman. That was a waste in IMAX 3D.
Waste period.
That's for you, Ed.
I was just gonna say, man, with Deadpool, I really think with the director, I mean, that's the same dude that did John Wick. So
I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. That's a
yeah,
good nugget. So that's a reassuring nugget.
Well, you know, the hint about possibly Juggernaut.
Yeah, it just a moment of silence. Let that sink in. Juggernaut. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Last week, week before last, the greatest game known to man arrived. I'm not going to go into detail because TC has not gone. He's what do you know, TC? About 60% through the game now?
I wish. I'm still heading up the mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you ain't too far away. Oh, wait a minute. This is never mind. I'm not gonna spoil it. Never mind.
Still heading up the mountain. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, so far, Tony, based off, I could go further if I wanted to, and we'll probably save a little bit of this for Savannah while we're down in Savannah. What are your thoughts, man, on this game? Well, did it surpass your expectations? Because you hadn't said much about it, man. Normally I guess it's because I beat you to the punch this time, but what's your thoughts on this, man? I thought it's, and I don't normally throw this around when it comes to game, but this game is an epic.
Yeah,
it's complete epic. It's like something I've never experienced.
It's the way I look at it as it's pretty much, it's like basically God of War and like the Batman Arkham Knight kind of meshed together, and they said we're gonna do a game, and this is what came out of it. Which both of those are hit games out of it. But I mean, I really enjoyed the game. It took me a minute to get used to the whole camera angle switching back and forth. And like you said, you even said yourself, the controls were a little bit awkward. But once you get used to it and get the flow going, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much steady rolling on it at that point. But as far as the storyline goes, I'm really enjoying the story. I'm really enjoying the characters, the different people that I meet, the dwarf brothers that I just pop up randomly everywhere.
Hilarious. Especially the blue one. He is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, they just pop up everywhere. It's just like, oh, you already here. And it's like, yeah, it's magic. And it's like, okay. I mean, I can't really argue with that. But I mean, yeah, it's one of those games, man. I haven't been disappointed at all. I mean, it's lived up to the expectations. I'm waiting to put like my ranking on it waiting to finish it before I put my ranking on it. But right now, still, to me, God of War 3 is still the top God of War game there is out there. So this might change my mind. We'll see.
All right. So if you had to ask me what I think is the best, I would say I think God of War 3 was really good, but this having beat the game, I've never beat a game and was sad that I beat it. I mean, I literally sat here last night and was like, damn, man, I think I'm going to go play God of War just to see if I can find if there's something else that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Because it's that good of a game. You find yourself wanting to go back and just play and just play and just play. And I'm really sad because I got to wait another 3 or 4. Well, I take that back. May not have to wait that long because that's kind of how they did God of War 2. 3 came kind of right after 2. So I think we may get the next one relatively quick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just had to wait for such a long period of time. I mean, it's an epic game. It's a game that draws you in emotionally. It's going to get you in emotionally, and just just the boss battles are so epic on this game. Like when you fight a boss on here, man, you feel like you're fighting a boss. It's not like you're not just gonna run through them. Not like old Kratos on 2 and 3. Nobody stood a chance. This I've died more on this God of War than I did on the last 3 all combined. I mean, I could almost tell you how many times I died on the last one. On this one, I was just starting over, starting over, starting over, starting over. You know, um, as you unlock weapons on that game, it just you feel you just feel the emotion, you feel how he learns new stuff, and you get into these battles with a bunch of enemies, and you got all this stuff going on at one time, and it's just amazing at how much detail they put into this game. That you got boss battles. While you got boss battles, you got other stuff going on in the background. You got the environment changes. It's just such a the musical score of that game is unparalleled. Kudos to Santa Monica Studios for putting together this masterpiece. By the way, today is Wednesday, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. TC, did you see the Red Dead trailer today?
Yes.
All right. I have not seen it, so I'm gonna let you tell me. I'm gonna let you tell us. I know Larry. The only reason I skipped Larry because I know Larry hadn't cut on his PlayStation in years. So that's the only reason why I skipped over him, y'all. I just want y'all to think I'm rude. But Larry has not cut on his PlayStation in like 5 years. So we're gonna go ahead.
Man, it's in the plastic. I have no idea when I'll play it. It's probably a waste of money.
Oh, you got God of War, man?
Yeah, I bought it.
Hey, bro.
It's sitting there with the plastic on it.
Take it out if you got nothing to do. Like one day, just get locked in, man. I promise you. TC, am I lying? I promise you.
It'll get you hooked.
I'm telling you, I promise you.
Look, man, I still got GTA 5 in the plastic, man. So my chance of being able to play that game, when I heard that game got a perfect 10, I went just to add it to the collection. But me actually playing that game is probably a 10% chance.
Yeah, I'd say play God of War, man. God of War is like crack cocaine. It's opioids of video games.
But as far as with Red Dead, man, it really. I'm just gonna say, man, Rockstar. This is another one where they just really they're gonna knock it out the park on this. I mean, this is another. The first one, I mean, I had kind of doubts on it because I was like, I'd rather have I keep saying I'd rather have a Vice City game. I keep saying that to the day. I mean, I keep saying that until they give me another Vice City game. But when I played the first one, I really got hooked into it, and it just made me want to play more and more. And they put out the expansions for it, and I played that. And with looking at this trailer, man, this was really like almost like a movie with the way that the trailer was done and drawn out. It was almost like you were watching a movie trailer on there for it. And even some of the characters, I haven't looked it up yet, but like some of the voice acting sounded kind of familiar. Because I almost want to say that I heard Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing the voice for one of the characters on there for it. I got to look it up and see, but it really sounded like you sitting there hearing Negan talking in the West. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, how cool would it be for that guy to be in a Western type movie? But if he's gonna do this game, I think it'll be really cool. But
yeah, as you're talking, I've got it.
That's a day one buy.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm sitting here looking at the trailer, and I got it muted, and I'm just sitting here looking at the trailer now, and this looks. This is like Grand Theft Auto. I get that feeling of watching Grand Theft Auto. Watching this, man. This looks great. Wow. This really looks great, man. Yeah, this is of course this is gonna be a day one buy. This is probably all right, TC, you getting the collector's edition of this too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The red revolver edition.
Hopefully they will do that.
Yeah, well, I really forgot about it, man, but I just happened to dawn and I was like, oh, that's right, it came out today. Sweet, I will look at it a little in depth after we go off the air. We're going to go ahead and move away from that realm of things, and we're going to talk about. I watched it. I was hoping Darrell hung around there for a little while, but he had to go. Fear the Walking Dead this week had a major death on the show, which once again denotes the flexibility of that show over the regular rendition of The Walking Dead. We lost. Larry, did you see the Fear the Walking Dead?
I didn't get a chance to watch it on Sunday.
Okay, well, do you want the spoiler, or do you mean the hold off? I'll hold off if you want me to.
No, you good.
Okay.
It don't spoil it to me. Seeing it, still seeing it. So
okay, all right. So we had Nick, who had been on the show since season one of the major characters, was killed off on Sunday, and so now the show is thrown basically upside down. A lot of people didn't think this was true. They're like, "Oh no, it's just a dream or whatever." But it is confirmed that he is off the show. He's done and dusted. Tony has his theories of why why he's off the show. TC, what's your theory, my friend, on why you're going to be seeing a lot more of this?
Well, actually, man, I actually looked it up. I actually looked up they did an interview with the guy that plays Nick, and they asked him like, well, what was his reason for wanting to leave and go on the show? Because it wasn't something that was anything as far as like the producers or anything else like that. He wanted to leave himself. He said that. He said he wanted off the show. He said with the change in, because they changed the producer and the showrunners and stuff like that on there for it. So he said when he saw that kind of change coming, he really saw it as like a time to go. So he said he wanted to go back home. He said he was tired of coming here to Georgia and working. Because I didn't know he's actually from Europe. He's from overseas. Okay. So he said he was tired of being over here. He was wanting to go back home, and he wanted to do as far as different roles in acting, and didn't want to just be basically typecast as this character in this show on there for it. So they asked him about it, and really he said at the very beginning of it that he didn't even see the scene. He didn't watch it till like way later on after everybody else had watched it. And he said he was in a bad mood that morning. He just wanted to film it, get it over with, and be able to just basically just take a trip back home and go. And that's really what he did.
Have you watched it, TC? Have you watched it?
I still have. I actually caught it at that scene when he was sitting down reading that book and got shot by the girl.
He looks, what you just said, as far as his attitude, now that you told me about his attitude, he looked that way in the scene.
Yeah.
You could actually tell that.
And he said that's the way he felt. He said it was really cold that morning. He said it was like at 4 or 5 in the morning when they were filming the scene. He said it was really cold that morning. He said he was tired, he was cold, and he was ready to go. And he said he was just in a bad mood that whole morning on there for it. And like he said, when you look at him, like the way the character looked, I mean, it could have been something with the character. But he said he went back and looked at it afterwards, and he said he saw how everyone was talking about, like, with the character being killed off and never coming back on there for it. And he said he got kind of emotional when he saw that. But initially, I mean, he said he was just ready to be done with it and ready to be gone. So.
All right, well, we'll see what Nick does in the cinematic universe. See if he, if he winds up on Z Nation or something. I thought the episode was weird per se. I watched the whole thing. I really thought it was very strange. The first 15 minutes of it was absolute foolishness. Truck going down a hill. It was out of place. The whole death, my complaint about the whole death is that, okay, well, if you wanted off the show, then you should just die at the dam. You should just got blew up at the dam.
Yeah.
Or you should have got caught in Mexico in that horde with the bus. You should have got all that. if you want to, I wish they, I hate to see that kind of stuff happen because it just throws everything out of whack. But once again, we're talking about a show that can easily readjust and they can do whatever they want to do. They don't. They're
Right.
not. They're
Because
not
there's no
bound.
guidelines they
Yeah.
have to follow.
Yep. They're not bound to the book. So it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward, and what they're going to do with some of those characters. So, all right, we're going to move on here to the rapid fire portion of the show. TC, the Flash came on last night. I figured as much. So, what's going on there, man? What's on that? What's going on that show, man? I hadn't watched it in like 6 weeks, so I don't even know what's going on.
I mean, basically at this point, the Vogue, I mean, he's pretty much doing what he wants to do. I mean, the thinker is he's going around killing whoever he wants to kill, and taking and stealing whatever he wants to steal, and he just, I mean, there's nobody that can stop him at this point. I mean, that's just the way the show went. And at the end of it, the girl he's with, his wife, she basically got mad at him because of everything that he's doing, and she just got mad at him basically, and took his chair and like up and left at the end of the show. But they did reveal you remember the young girl that was at the wedding?
Yeah.
That was asking all those goofy questions. And
yeah.
They did reveal she is a speedster. So I don't know if she's more likely she's going to be the daughter of Iris and Barry on the show.
Oh, okay. All right, and on to the next show.
And they were like two. I think there's like 2, maybe 3 episodes left, and that's it.
Yeah, this season has been absolute garbage. This season is worse than last season, and that's saying a lot.
By far.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rapid fire right into the show that is destroying pretty much anything that's on TV right now, and that is Into the Badlands. TC, for those who are not watching the show,
it's back.
Oh yeah, man. We're into week 3 now. We're in week 3 of what, 16 episode season 2? 16 episodes, man. All right, and I'll get you up to speed. We've got a new character. We've got a whole new faction on the show. We've got a brother now that's running his own faction.
He got the dark power.
With the dark power, with the mystic forces.
Yeah, I have to go back on demand, man, and catch up with it.
Yeah, TC, your thoughts on this season of the Into the Badlands?
They picked up right where they left off, and that's on the highest note possible. I mean, that first episode when we watched that with the widow fighting the one arm that Sonny fought, that fight. I mean, that beats out anything you're gonna see on Iron Fist. Yeah, I'm going to bring that back up. I'm gonna bring that back up again, since Iron Fist is supposedly like the Kung Fu Master of Kung Fu Master. But yeah, man, this show is it's on another level as far as with the action, with the story. It's actually a pretty interesting story, and I mean, you can almost, if you're not really paying attention to it, you can get caught up in the action and just really forget about the story. But there are characters that they're bringing along, and there's previews for the future episodes that they're bringing along that this can go on for a while. This is a show that basically everybody on the show, cast-wise, they stepped up their game from season 1, and it's just gotten better and better and better as the seasons go on.
Yeah, I would have to say that this season is it really feels like you're picking up midway through season 2. That's how good this show is. And I mean, they have really, you can tell when somebody's really put a lot of work into a show, and they've done it. They've done it as far even as down to the gear, the garb that the characters are wearing, the fighting, the scenes, the finite definition. I mean, just all the way down to the teeth. They're getting everything down to the T. It's just like watching an old kung fu movie every weekend. I just, to be honest with you, man, I just wish the episodes were longer. I mean, to be honest with you, that's how
Yep.
good it is. You hate for them to go off. Uh, they do have every once in a while you run into a slow moment, but it usually picks right back up. And it's a lot of high octane action. Uh, Larry, you definitely got to check it out, man.
Yeah, I'm going my next day off, man. I catch it up on demand. Yeah, boy, when you get to moving, hard to sit down and watch TV anymore.
Yeah, that's how it is when you get old, man.
I
You
barely,
think
I
about
barely had time. I barely had time to read these halls that I get.
it. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna skip over Ninja Batman. We'll say that for next weekend with Xavier. We're gonna briefly talk about this discussion here, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into our haul. So we're just about ready to round things off here. So we'll finish our last segment of tonight talking about Marvel. Glad that you're on the panel tonight, Larry. We're gonna talk about Marvel is back at it again with the number ones across the board. Everybody's getting a number one, and uh, everybody's getting the variant. We know if there's a number one, we know the variants are coming. We know that's it. Larry, let me ask you this, man.
Mhm.
Do you what do you prefer? Do you prefer them to keep the legacy numbering, or do you just are you fine with legacy numbering, or do you even care if these number ones, or has it gotten too much out of you? Have you started to go, okay, why are we going back? Why are we doing this, instead of just staying with you know?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I guess why I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand both perspectives. I understand people that want to keep like Action Comics 1000. I understand people that want to see these large numbers. To me, I just look at it as everything changes, everything evolves, and this is the way that Marvel has decided to do things. What actually is good to me is that am I actually enjoying what I'm reading, regardless of the number? Am I enjoying what I'm reading? And so far, I can say I've been enjoying what I've been reading. So, um, this fresh start thing, and like I said, I actually think from the last I read, I thought it was supposed to be a dual numbering system where they're actually going to keep tab of the actual legacy numbering over. If they anytime they want to start over, they can still put a number one on it. That's the way I understood it, but I could be wrong. But it hasn't bothered me at all. I mean, but like I said, I can understand to people who've been collecting for so long, like why is it another number one? But and to be, you only feel like that if you feel you have to get a number one. Traditionally, number ones have been known for value, and that's where you want to start because you want to get a number one. Um, that's just not the way it is anymore because it has cheapened the number one. But other than that, it doesn't bother me at all.
TC, your thoughts on this number this renumbering system? Are you tired of it now, or it just
I
is
mean,
enough? Is enough for you?
I mean, to me, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence on both of it. I mean, the way I see it is, I mean, they're really not reinventing anything when they do redo the number one on there for it. They're basically resetting the whole universe from what they've done as far as the changes they've made in the past on there for it. So I see it as a way for Marvel to one increase sales, make more money, do more variants, and everybody's going to be jumping on the number ones always. I mean it's always going to be that way
Yeah.
on there. And you're going back with Thor, Iron Man, Spider Man, Black Panther. It's just going to keep going on there for it. So, but the thing is with me is that I'm not sure if the actual story is going to continue from like the previous one as far as going over into the next one. I think it's just basically going to start a whole new story arc and just go from that point on for it. So
Well,
we'll see. We'll see.
it's supposed to continue. I mean, like from my understanding, like the Avengers number one came out today, and they pick up like Tony, Thor, and was it Tony Thor and
Everybody.
Captain America? They all sit down, they having drinks, and they talking about how rough the year's been. So I mean, the continuity is still there. I mean, I just think, look, people got to get over it. They've given you what you wanted back. They've given you your heroes back. They threw away all the no shot to my women because I love female heroines. My favorite character is X-23, but they've given you all your legacy heroes back. They scrapped all that. You know, like it's like, what do you want?
Well, me personally, you know, it's just one of those things where I was used to the numbering. It is what it is. Marvel, like it's like everything. Marvel's gonna do what they want to do. Anyway, Marvel is the Eric Bischoff of the comic industry. They don't care. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Um, Now I talked to Will today. Will's like, "Hey man, did you see how many variants there are for Amazing Spider-Man 800?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's so many variants of that book, and Larry's gonna get all of them. Larry's gonna get all of them. Do you think? Are we get? Let me pose this question. And you know, TC, I think you posted this article in between our last show about the break down that article that you put in our private group about variants and pools and everything.
Oh, right, dude. I mean, the way they explained it is, I mean, the guy, he was just basically talking about how he was looking at his pre-order list, and he felt like Al Bundy when he's going and doing his bills for the month, and how much he's putting the money into all these different variants on there for it. I mean, and you have you got DC that basically does. Every now and then they'll do a variant copy on there for it, but even at that, it's not going to be a super high price comic on there unless it's like a real famous author on there for it or artist that does it. But I mean, it's really expensive. I mean, trust me, the Black Panther comic that's coming at the end of May. There is, I think, 8 variants that are being done that I know of so far, and 2 of them I can't even touch because it's the Jack Kirby remastered variant that are going for like
1 in 1,000.
Yeah, 1 in 1. One is like 1 in 500. The other one was like 1 in 1,000, and they're going for like $500 and $1,000 a piece. So, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to even touch that at all. I'll take a picture of it and put it in my phone and look at it every now and then. I feel all right about it.
Yeah, I just think, man, you know what? With some of these books, it's going to be that way. I mean, we saw with Action Comics. I had, you know what, man? You know what the crazy thing about all these variants? I hadn't seen a lot of good art.
No.
I mean, some of the art on some of those variants are absolutely hideous. It is.
But but you got a lot of these artists are just throwing out the different covers that they're doing. I mean, Martina that dude is doing he's putting in some work in his studio, man. I don't know if you looked, but
I follow him on Instagram.
I mean, the dude is putting every other comic that you see, there's a Martina variant coming out for. He's doing that, and he's even doing the regular covers for like Flash and Suicide Squad on top of that.
Got one back there, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, the one came out last week, the Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Just to get paid, and it's also a way. I mean, you're gonna have certain collectors who are completists, and you're gonna have other collectors who are gonna get the covers that they actually want to get. Me, I'm a completist. I just hate if you're gonna be a collector, to me, you're supposed to go after. You're supposed to collect. Now different people collect for different reasons. Some people invest. Some people collect different things. I mean, you collect the way you want to collect. It's just that if it's 20 variants, you just pick the cover that you like. You get that particular one. Now if you're trying to get 20 variants, are you trying to find the one that's going to be worth the most? Or are you trying to, or do you want all of them just to have say I got all of them, or are you trying to, what's your angle? That's how you have to look at it. Like me, I just want to say, hey, if I got Spider-Man 800, if I could collect all 800 of them, hey, I was able to hunt down all 800 of them. It's not for money or anything else, but some people try to get the variants because they figure that one is going to be worth more than the other. You trying to find that one that's worth more than the rest.
Yeah. All right. Xavier has joined the panel. We're back. We were a tag team at one point. We were a 6-man tag, we're 8-man tag, and now we're sustained at a 8-man tag. So, Xavier, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna recap, go back, and your thoughts on Infinity War. And first off, how you doing tonight, man? Can't hear you, man. You gotta bring your mic down. Bring your mic.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You in there now.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How y'all doing? I'm tired.
We all are.
But as far as how I felt about Infinity War, I love the movie. As I was telling Al a couple days after it came out, after he saw it, it's not my favorite Avengers movie, but it is one of the best cinematic Marvel movies that they've put out. Spider-Man for the win. Spider-Man hands down was like the best character in my opinion. Since we censoring ourselves on YouTube now, darn Star-Lord, I don't care what anybody says. They want to sit here and say that, in the moment, he was so up under all that emotion and he was upset. I'm not hearing that because he pulled the trigger and Thanos turned those bullets into bubbles. So I ain't hearing that. So you were cool with killing her yourself, but you mad that he did it. No, scratch that. I'm mad at Iron Man for letting go to try to grab him instead of just blasting him. If you shoot him, by the time he regroup himself, y'all already got it out because we saw the palm of Thanos' hand. I know I'm finna offend a lot of people when I say this, but for those of y'all that were woke with the last Marvel movie, oh well, I'm sorry that y'all didn't get what y'all thought y'all gonna get in this movie because we got them out. We got about the right amount of Wakanda that we needed in this movie because it wasn't supposed to be based in Wakanda. But all in all, Thanos, dude, Josh Brolin did a phenomenal job. I don't know if anybody said anything about Drax, but Dave Bautista is amazing at this role. I'm highly impressed, and all in all, I give the movie a solid 8.5. You know what I mean? The ending had me so mad because I wanted more, but I mean that's the perfect way to end that movie, just to really keep all of us who follow it and everything like that wanting more and trying to figure out what's gonna happen. The post-credit scene, I mean, you couldn't have ended that post-credit scene any better than how you did it. And I mean, all in all, it was a great movie, man.
Did you get a chance to watch Fear the Walking Dead this week?
Yes, I did.
Your thoughts on Nick being knocked off?
I don't know if y'all saw in a group. I was like, his decisions that he's making starting to upset me. And then a couple minutes after I put that, he got murked. So, I mean,
yeah, I responded, well, you don't have to worry about that now.
Right. Like the funny thing is, season 1 and 2, Nick was my dude, man. I was all for Nick, but I mean,
you basically saw Nick go from being Shane to being Rick.
Pretty much.
It was reversed.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they got to do what they got to do to prolong the series, and the direction that he was going wasn't gonna do nothing but drag the series down, in my opinion.
And also, what about? Did you see Flash last night?
Yeah, I saw it.
Thoughts on Flash?
It's just the Flash. It's the Flash. I mean, it was
Where's that thumbs at, TC? Where's that thumb at, man? What's the thumb?
the funny thing is, like, to me, what killed last night's episode, honestly, was outside of the flashbacks that they keep going back to, which they were meaningful, but I need somebody more masculine to play Vibe than Cisco. Cisco too feminine in my opinion. To have somebody like Gypsy, that is it's not mixing. I can't believe them as a couple. It's not do him send him let him go to Earth 2 or whatever Earth she from and bring HR back with his memory so he can figure out how to beat the Thinker. Cause right now it's not fun.
All right, Into the Badlands.
I'm caught up on it, but I'm really not into this season like I've been the previous two. I mean, they starting off real slow in my opinion, you know. But I mean, we already know once Sonny get his feet planted down real firm, I mean, we gonna get the show that we're looking for. Killing wise, I mean, it's there. You know what I'm saying?
Also, before you got on, we were just discussing Marvel is starting to go back to their number ones.
Again.
Yeah, again. So, your thoughts on that, my friend?
And they're like the fifth time in the past since we've been doing the show.
Look at TC's face. No, it's probably, I'd say probably at least the third time. At least for some of these guys. I mean, some of these characters. I mean, what? Black Panther is what, TC? What is this? The fourth time in the last 3 years?
Yeah. This is the fourth time.
Yeah, fourth time.
How many Luke Cage number ones we had? 2?
3.
Mm.
No, I'm counting the crew. I'm counting the crew. TC's book, the crew.
We only had 6 books.
Yeah. But see, that's the meat of the problem is that they're renumbering these books, but they're only doing like 7 of them, and then they'll knock them off, and then 9 months later to a year later, here they come back again. I think that's where the gripe is coming in at. Is why are we knocking off books, you know, and then coming back with another number one?
Here's my thing on it. Well, I'm just to piggyback off of what you said right quick. Why are they killing off the actual good short stories and keeping the other stories? Well, and just to me, because I don't read all Marvel, you know, I pick up a select few books, and like let's just say Deadpool versus Punisher. That was a good little series, but it ended real quick. You know what I'm saying? Why kill that off and go to something else and have him fighting somebody else instead of just making it one long-lasting title? Bring them in. You know what I'm saying?
Those are one shots, man.
That's I understand that, but a lot of these one shots are garbage.
What you call it still going on?
Like it took a minute for all of them to get together. Yeah, that's true. They killed off that. Do they still have Deadpool and Gambit going?
No.
That was to me that was a joke. Just in my opinion. I tried to read it. I couldn't follow it.
The whole Deadpool versus thing, that's cash cow. Anything?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You had Deadpool versus Thanos. I mean, come on.
Versus the world.
Yeah, he didn't kill the Marvel Universe
twice.
Yeah, that's a cash cow.
You're right.
You know, but if you look at the books that they keep, Black Panther wasn't a heavy title in rotation. Let's be honest, until really this movie, it wasn't consistently moving 70, 80, 90, 100,000 units consistently. You know what I'm saying? So they had to come up with Rise of the Black Panther, Black Panther and the Crew, Black Panther. They tried like Matt phrase. They throwing shots at the wall to see what sticks.
Is that a Deadpool shirt you got on?
Yeah,
I got that shirt.
Black Panther the Deadpool. Black Panther and Inspector Gadget. Black Panther and Heathcliff. Black Panther and Dennis the Menace. Black Panther and Thor. Black Panther and Conan.
But if you look at the titles that are consistent, take a look at the Deadpool is now what the regular Deadpool series is number 300 comes out at the end of next week. Of course they're gonna renumber it after that, but like I said, I don't know how this dual numbering thing is gonna go. But
we know how it's gonna go. It's gonna go 15 then 1.
Yeah, I
5
mean,
and 1.
yeah, and we'll get a reboot. We'll get a new reboot. Shuri #1.
Here's the thing though. Hey, I hate to say it like this, Matt, but if they had a #1 with Del Otto, you gonna have it every time.
Oh, hey, depending on the artwork, yeah, you're right.
No,
Depending
it's
on the
Del
artwork.
Otto. You gonna have it. Shut
No,
up.
some of the stuff I didn't buy. Some of the stuff I don't buy.
So hot.
1 out of
But
1,500 that you
just got
didn't
good
get.
work, man. I mean, really, to be honest with you, man, between him and Martina, they are tearing it up.
Hey, I like Archer, man.
Yeah. Art Germ too, yeah, and Art Germ. Let's not forget
Yeah.
him. Yeah, those three are tearing it up.
Those Supergirl couples, man. I ain't look. This those Supergirl couples.
That's that blasphemy coming out of his mouth. That's why his system lagged up on him. they didn't want nobody to hear him talk good about DC at all.
Nobody. I can't
It said nope.
He got a fail safe in his system. Wow.
Yeah, they said nope. Well, I want to give a special shout out. We got a couple of new subscribers tonight. We've got Lucius Moore, who is subscribed. Also, if for those who's in the chat, TCS started laughing. Spider-Man came through tonight in the chat. Literally, dude named Spider-Man. I want to give him a special shout out. I want to give a special shout out to our normal subscribers. If you have not liked the video, please make sure you like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Also, want to talk about an announcement early. I think it was late last week that Black, the comic book by Scout Comics, I believe it is has been optioned for a movie. Also, in addition to that, Killer Be Kill is supposed to be going to the big screen. These are all books that we talked about within the last year. Killer Be Kill, you still can. Now you're not gonna find #1 first print, but you still can find those Killer Be Kill books on shelves. And I think we're about to round out that entire book, that entire series. I think we're like 2 books away, y'all.
Yeah.
2 books away. So make sure you go ahead and grab those. And let me throw this out here right now, man. We're gonna go on one of these, just a baby rant. It's not gonna be a big one. Fail safe #1. Now, this is a classic case of what I call gaslighting in the comic industry. Now, here's a book that, it's a low print run book, came out some years ago. I want to say 06, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. The only reason that book is even getting any look is because Michael B. Jordan and the fellow who put together Black Panther is involved with that.
They woke, man. They woke. Let them stay woke.
There's nothing there that I saw today. Antonio sent me a link today.
It was a choice.
$325, 9.8. Tony, your thoughts on that 9.8? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No,
man, what about the Cowboy Ninja Viking?
You know what, man? Every time you say that, I think about Man Bear Pig from South Park. I just think about Man Bear Pig for the strange reason. Yeah, that book is at $1,000. Tony, was it $1,000 this weekend?
You can get on for the
it's like
for the CGC
is $1,000. Yeah, slab $1,000, unslab like $600.
Yeah.
You know, here's a book that I thought when he told, we were talking on the phone, and when he said, "Hey man, what's the name of that book again, Tony? The Cowboy Viking. What is it?
Cowboy Ninja Viking.
Yeah, Cowboy Ninja Viking. I thought he was joking around, and he said, "No, I'm serious." And I said, "No, what are you talking about?" And it's a small print run book that came out some years ago. That's like V Wars. Now I knew about V Wars, but nobody's checked that book. Nobody's checking for that. Nobody was checking for that book. That book is still in dollar bins. As a matter of fact, I'm looking in dollar bin when we go to Origin this weekend, Larry. I guarantee it's sitting over there. I guarantee it's sitting over there. I bet you a lot of these books we talking about are sitting over in these dollar bins that people that are going astronomical. But that's just the way it goes in the industry. But I expect Black. Now I'm gonna go on another rant, and Xavier is probably gonna roll with me on this one. Now all these woke brothers and sisters on Black Panther, we Wakanda forever. How many of y'all are gonna go out and support this movie Black? That's what I want to see.
They
I
don't know
want to
nothing
see.
about it.
Well, no. See, this is where you know you get these overnight comic scholars who they know everything about this material.
With a PhD from Wiki.
Yep. But then when it's time for you to support, now this is and TC Xavier, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I want to say this is Black. It's completely a black writer, author, in every. I mean, straight from top to bottom, and it's a good read. Now y'all want to talk about a good read. This is a good read. It was what eight books.
Isn't the only thing non-black about it is the publisher? That's
The
it.
publisher, yeah, Scout Comics, which Scout is another under the radar company that has really good books that fly right under the radar. But it's a good read. I want to say it was eight books. I can't remember right offhand, but it came out about what 2 years ago, a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and you still can, if you look hard enough, depending on where your local comic book store is, you probably can still pick up some of them. There is one what we call hot coffee variant that's out there. I think it's number 2. It's either 2 or 3. It's about 2 hot coffee variants that's out there for it.
I was going to say it's a couple of them.
Yeah, if you can find them, pick it up. If you can find the complete, I think, black cover, then you really in the money. But I think you can only get that at the convention. So be on the lookout for that. Am I missing any other trailers? Anything else? We talked about Ant-Man.
Think you good, man.
Think we good? All right. Well, as we get ready to close it out, we're going to go right into our hauls for the night. And Larry, we'll go ahead and let you fire it up, my friend.
I wasn't able to stop by.
Whoa, Nelly. What you got? Oh, just right. You can probably pack all that stuff up. I'll say what you got the last couple of weeks, but you probably packed all that away. Xavier, we know you got some pops, man. What you got over there, man?
It will be over with by the time I grab all the ones I got within the past week or so. Let's just say I got like 15 and 4 on the way, just within the past week and a half.
Sweet. I'm going to step away. TC, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to step off for just a second so I can get my stuff lined up.
I ain't got nothing, man.
Well, y'all, I'm going to let y'all talk about something while I go get it. I'll be right back, y'all.
You going to pull your halls, man?
Yeah, I'm going to pull my halls, man. I'll be right back, y'all.
You know what? I am going to grab 2 of them that I'm pretty excited to have. I'll be right back.
All right.
I mean, I wasn't able to stop by today. Got on work late.
I hear you.
I might see
what is the next DC movie coming out? Is it Aquaman?
Oh, that's the one that they were talking about showing at the San Diego Comic Con, I think.
I would like to apologize. I forgot to mute my mic before I set it down. I'm sure that hurt some viewers' ears. I did get Trapjaw. They finally restocked him at FYE, so I picked him up. I know y'all remember I've been asking if y'all saw this one.
Yep.
To grab it for me, so I went ahead and got it. To be honest, I got it for $10, so that's shipping and everything. And of course, the big boy. Only thing I don't like about this is he doesn't have the gauntlet on.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the gauntlet at?
He ain't got it on, man. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And this bad boy is massive. It's a 8-inch pop. So I got to sit this completely separate from the rest of the pops that I have.
Yeah, I got mine. I got the same one. I actually got it from Hot Topic too. I got him in a case. I put it so big I can't keep him out.
Where did you find the case? You talking about?
No, tub. Just a tub. I know. I just got him sitting in
okay.
a tub. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get things rolling here on what I've got. Matt does get his pops every once in a while, and I do have one. I have my first vaulted pop, which is the Hong Kong Fooey. my first vaulted pop here. You can go check on eBay to see what that's going for. Guy had it up, buy it now for $30. I didn't waste any time. No time was wasted on that. All right, book wise, and this is just over the last 3 weeks. This came today. This is Eternals #7, first appearance of the one above all. That if you can find this in the butt bin, go ahead and grab it, man. I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it. But this is gonna be one of these books that's gonna probably start going up soon.
I got a question for y'all. Speaking about the one above all, do y'all agree with him? Like, it's a lot of folks saying he's supposed to be the most powerful being in the Marvel. Do y'all agree with that?
It'll be like, it's supposed to be Jack Kirby, ain't
it? Yeah, well, you got what TC the Living Tribunal. You not go. You still. This is one of these questions. I know Alan's screaming tonight. I know Alan's like screaming. He can't be on tonight because this would be a good comment. We're gonna talk about all this in Savannah. We're gonna probably just say, Xavier. You know what? Just say that we're gonna discuss all this in Savannah next week.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that then. Also, me and Al both stopped by Comics Plus. Shout out to Will. Picked up Amazing Spider-Man 263, first appearance of Normie Osborn, who is AKA the Red Goblin now. I got the Throwback Action Comics 1000. This is that one. I've also got the shut up, Xavier. The Del Otto. The Del Otto. The Christopher Reeves. Action Comics 1000. Picked up Batgirl because I like that cover. I love that Batgirl cover.
With them 6 cents wheats on.
Yep, with the Wu-Tang special. I picked up Batman 37. The artist actually who did this cover, the cover is actually a black artist. So, definitely want to donate to the cause. Speaking of Matina, this is probably one of the best Matinas, one of the best Suicide Squad covers I've seen. And this is Matina. I call it the ass variant, and you can quite see why.
You know he's coming out with 2 more, right?
Yeah, I mean, Matina killing it, man. He is killing it. Staying on my DC train. Batman 40, I believe this is.
Of course, Larry ain't looking at that.
Yeah.
No love for DC except for the anime world.
As talked about earlier, Claws of the Panther. #1, Shuri in the House. Got Batman 45.
Look, man, everybody has love for Batman.
I don't like this new art I don't like the way they drawing Batman now.
Superfly Superman.
What hip hop variant was that?
This was for the
Deadpool. The pimp.
It was.
Nah,
I thought that was the Mac. Well, he done had so many of them. You might be right. Yeah, I can't even argue with you on that one.
Masters in the Universe 14. This is before she becomes She-Ra in the next issue. I picked this up for I picked this up for 50 cents. It was about 50 cents. More Matina, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shout out to bro Coleman for putting me on this right here, man. We always talk about books to go buy. Incredible Hulk 449, first appearance of the Thunderbolts. If you see that book, grab it. You got that, Larry? You got that one?
No, I don't have that one.
Okay, I thought you might have had that.
What?
Last but not least, Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's 798.
That Joker is dope.
Del Otto. And I was looking at his signature, and he actually drew this back in 1998. I was like, wow. So this dude is sitting on a gold mine of art that he's probably drawn. That they just commissioned him. He said, "Hey man, can we get a cover? Here you go."
Yeah, if you go to his Instagram, he posts a lot of his just random art that he does.
So,
I did find this one.
what you got there, man? Yeah. I love that cover. That's a badass cover.
Version 799.
Yeah, that 799 that's a sexy cover.
Yeah, the Young Guns Hunt for Wolverine.
Yeah,
Hey, did y'all talk about Venom?
A little bit.
we talked about Spawn. Yeah, we talked about it. Your thoughts on it, my friend?
I gotta wait and see. I still got too many questions.
I
I mean,
and
so
you know,
I
don't know throw a movie under the bus before I see it, but that movie that gonna be trash.
hey man, you got two symbiotes before Peter Parker even got one, two, and I'll go see it just because it's Venom. As long as I get to watch it for free, technically using Movie Pass, but that's about it.
Everybody collecting Venom. This is going to make your stock go down.
Down.
And don't go be going to buy Lethal Protector, man. You won't be getting the games on that.
How are they basing this movie off of that? And it's supposed to be when he got. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Last thing before we get ready to roll, I want to ask you, Xavier, your thoughts on now. Don't spoil it because TC had to beat the game. He's just not going up the mountain in God of War. Don't spoil it. But your thoughts on God of War?
Dude, God of War is awesome. I'm not gonna spoil the game because I haven't beat the game yet. I will say this: it's a lot harder for me because I have not opened up that many chests. So my health meter is probably a little bit more than what you started with. But from what I understand, I'm not that far from the end, and I made it that far with just that little health. And I can tell you, this is rough, but it's a great game.
What stage you on, Xavier?
I mean, you told me not to spoil it.
Okay, don't spoil it. Yeah, don't spoil it. Yeah, you don't spoil it. Yeah, that game's so deep, man. You don't even want anybody to know what's going on.
Let's just say I can go anywhere I want to now.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, with that, y'all, next week we'll be coming to you from Savannah at the Savannah Comic Con. Place where we are going to be broadcasting from is still up in the air, but either way, you're going to be soaking in the sounds of Savannah. So we will be broadcasting live next week. We'll be talking about different things. We'll talk about the show, try to interview a couple of people that's there at the convention. And as of course, we'll always be talking all things comics. So I want to tell everybody, thank you. All our new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend. Sharing is caring. And with that, Antonio Coleman, Larry, Xavier Randall, Al Rainey, who could not join us tonight, but he was definitely there in chat with us tonight. He'll be back with us next week. We miss you, my man. We'll make sure that we revisit some of these topics for you when you come back, my man. I want to tell everyone happy Wednesday, and we will catch you all next weekend from Savannah. Have a great night.